Hey YouTubers, it's Sean, aka well, I'm Sean. I'm Chris's brother, aka Old Man Gamers Chris or OMG Chris. He had so many different account names, but I just want to sit there and say thank you to everybody, all of you, because I was not expecting an auction. I was not expecting a donation. When I told everybody that my brother passed away, which is the hardest thing anybody can do, is to sit there and go on YouTube to a bunch of people that my brother knew, and loved, that I only maybe knew probably 10 or 15 of you. My brother had so many subscribers on so many different channels, and he loved all of you. I can't put it into words on how much my brother loved every single one of you. JoJo, my brother loved you probably the most. Um, that's the truth, too. He always wanted to meet you. He always wanted to get to know you. He wanted to meet you just to hang out and go to dinner or something, even though you got somebody in your life. But he just wanted to, just hang out, chit chat, because the bantering you two would have with each other was phenomenal. He loved every time he'd sit there and talk to you. Matilda Gothica, Chris loved you just as well. He loved every drawing you made, everything you sent him. They were put in plastic and backer boards and stuff so they would not get damaged. And he would even go out and try and find large size photo frames that would sit there and hold some of your drawings. So to you both, I just want to sit there and let you know that he did love both of you, and I love both of you too. Matt, I just want to sit there and say, yes, you are a man of your words. You said you would send the money, and you did. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm ungrateful or anything, because I'm not. I just wanted to say thank you to you for doing what you're doing. Mike, my brother, had the utmost respect for you as well. When he told me before, when you were it was either like 17 or 16, between 2016 and 2018 or 19, you were talking about, I can't exactly remember, you were talking about quitting the community and giving it all up because of everybody, nagging at you, dogging on you and stuff like that, from what he would tell me. And he would sit there, even when I was in his apartment and stuff, and he would text message you, sitting there telling you that don't give up, keep going, just do what you do. Don't let nobody discourage you. Believe in you. You believe in yourself, believe in your wife, believe in your family, because they do come first. Raj, I never met you, and it's not in a bad way, so I don't think it is. I don't think you and I are friends on YouTube, so. But I want to say thank you to you for the kind words you said about my brother, because my brother was the world to me. He was my hero. He was my rock. Just like he was always telling me I was his rock. I was what was keeping him on this face of the earth. Because without you guys, my brother had nothing. He was always wanting to go be with Michelle. He didn't want to be here anymore. And no, he did not commit suicide when he passed away. He suffered a seizure. I mean, I can go into a long health-related story with my brother. He started suffering, well, on the 4th of April, he showed symptoms of a stroke, and we sent him to the hospital, and they did nothing for him, and then a week later he died. What started out, because he was on antibiotics to treat MRSA, and he had 2 blood pathogen infections in his body that they were trying to fight, plus the MRSA. And he knew eventually he was going to go, but he was hoping for at least another 5 or 10 years. And the night before this happened, we were watching It, the remake, or the second one, I can't remember. But we were watching it, and he told me to turn it off. And he looked at me when I was looking at my brother to talk, and he goes, I don't want to talk. He goes, I want to hear your voice. You talk to me for the next couple hours. So for the 30 minutes, him and I sat there and just chatted. And then he looked at me and he says, I want to go to bed. So my wife, well, soon to be ex-wife, came home, and her and I helped him to get into bed. And while we were getting him up and out of the wheelchair to put him into the bed, he suffered a seizure while he was getting into the bed. And we were trying to treat that at the same time as he was having cardiac arrest. And the paramedics, when they got here, they were at the house within 5 minutes of all this. And they commenced CPR for 40 minutes till they finally got a pulse on my brother. And he was alive, but he wasn't. I mean, because he was passed out, and he never recovered because of the deprived of oxygen in his brain for 40 minutes. And I knew he was going to be brain dead, and I didn't want to accept it. And that's why Saturday I made the post to tell you all, because I didn't want you guys to all think my brother just fell off the face of the earth. I wanted you all to know the man that loved all of you was gone. And the love all of you have for my brother shows me that he ain't gone, that he lives on in all of you. And I will sit there and say that last night they kept him alive, even though he was brain dead. They kept his body alive up until last night, because he was an organ donor, so they went in and took his kidneys and his liver to save the lives of 3 other people. But because he has a rare blood type, and I'm not going to say what it is, but if anybody knows what the rare blood type is, then you already know. Because if anybody who's on YouTube, because this is going to go public, can see it, will know what his blood type was and go, well, I'm a organ donor. I might get a kidney or a liver, and then it not being you. So I'm not allowed to say that, what type of actual blood it is, other than it's rare. So his kidneys and liver are going to go to 3 other people. He's going to continue living on in 3 other people. He's attempting to extend the lives of other people by being an organ donor. And I just wanted you all to know that he will continue living on in 3 other people. I'm hoping the organ donor place will keep me informed and let me know eventually who the 3 people were, if they ever want to meet me to know more about my brother, so I can, talk to them and let them know. But I just wanted to get this out real quick and fast to sit there and tell you all thank you very much for your generosity and support and kindness. The donations were not anything that I was expecting when I told you all my brother died. The auction was another thing I was not expecting. It does mean a lot to me, and I just really, really wanted to say thank you. And after 14 retakes of making a video to do this, all my tears are probably dried up, because the first 3, I was crying like hell. Saturday I will be crying, but somewhere over there on the bunk bed, yeah, I had a bunk bed. That's Junior. Chris slept on the bottom bunk. Of course, I was on the top bunk, so I can keep an eye on him and stuff to help him out when he needed to get up, get down, or whatever he needed, because 1, he couldn't walk very well. His legs were basically shot. His balance was impaired. He was going blind in both eyes. There was just a lot going on with my brother that a lot of people may know or didn't know. He was falling apart. But now I sleep on the bottom bunk, and I'm going to take the top bunk out of here in another couple days or a week or so. But they got a quilt that the Life Center gave me because when you donate organs, the Life Center places will give you a blanket, and they put a handprint on the blanket for you. So I got his left hand because his right hand was the hand that was messed up, and it wouldn't go straight. It would be more like this. So, or actually it was like that. So it would never straighten out, so they couldn't do a handprint for me. So they gave me his left hand. It's over there somewhere underneath the blankets. But when I'm sitting here on Saturday, I'll have it with me so you can all see this quilt that they made. And I'll hold it because it'll be my brother's hand on my chest while we're watching the auction and stuff. And like I said, I'm sorry it's a long video, but I just wanted to sit there and say thank you and look forward to seeing all you guys on Saturday. I do appreciate it. I'm praying I don't get stuck with all his medical bills because just for 1 month alone, it was like $320,000 or $333,000 for one of his months in the hospital. And I'm not saying don't raise that kind of money. Please don't. That's just what his bill was, because if you ain't got insurance, you're kind of screwed in life. So if you ain't got insurance but you need insurance, I would recommend getting insurance somehow, or health coverage, because healthcare coverage does help a lot. I know the last bill will be covered through the insurance that he had through the state, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm not trying to, never mind. I'm sorry I even brought that up. Please forgive me. I'm not going to re-erase this. It's already gone on almost 12 and a half minutes. I should have just stopped at 7 when I said hi, thank you, and everything. But I wanted you all to know what was going on with Chris. And then all that other stuff. But if anybody has questions on Saturday, I can, in between auctions, break sets and all that, I can at least sit there and say things if you all want to know, if you want to know. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.